All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Nomadic Stories podcast. This is episode 1 of season 2. Thanks for tuning in. Podcast is brought to you by We.Nomadic, of course. So today, on today's panel, we got myself, Louis. Some people call me Huyo, Nomad Huyo. We also got Nomad M, and we got Nomad Slim. How we doing, boys?
Man, we good. I'm over here out in Germany, south of Germany, Bayern. It's good, man. It's good.
That's what's up.
Yeah, bro. Things are good over here, man. Sun is shining bright this morning. Had to already do a little DIY sunshade to be able to get some good lighting coming through. It's good, bro. How you doing, bro?
Through now. You're looking good, dude. Don't worry.
Yes, the sun is
nice.
It's on me.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
I'm out here in Aberdeen. So this broadcast is brought to you from Germany, Bayern, Rotterdam, and Aberdeen. Damn, 3 different countries. Yeah. That's nomadic right there. So yeah, before we get into the episode, real quick, thanks for clicking on the video. Of course, like, comment, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. And yeah, we like to know if our nomadic community is active. So, shoot us a message, leave some comments, and we'll make sure to get to you. So yeah, let's get to the episode.
Man, so it's been a while since we recorded a podcast episode that we're really going to release. I mean, I say release now, but we recorded an episode, Louis and I, about probably like a month ago or something, and we never actually got to releasing it. So now it's just it feels a bit too old to actually do it, but yeah, this one's going up on the internet for sure.
This one's the one. There was even the one with Matthew. It was Marty, Matthew, and me. We tried again to start it up again. Halfway through, my Wi-Fi cut out, dude. I won't lie, I dipped out.
Oh, dang! We even recorded 2 episodes to never be released.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. I mean, if we're talking about episodes not to be released, there's more than 2, man. If we're gonna go back, we had some guests come on too that we never ended up releasing.
Yeah, well, okay. Now we're proper exposing ourselves, dude.
Yeah, but anyways, the point is we're here now. We decided to shift gears and just get going.
Exactly.
Just try to get over this. Like, it's got to be perfect. It's got to be this. Like, let's just make it. Let's just start simple, and we got a pretty decent setup going right now too. So I think from now on, smooth sailing. Hopefully.
Don't say that, man. Don't say that.
Hopefully. Listen, man, just trying to bring some good energy out, man.
Exactly.
Hopefully.
That's what
Bro,
it is.
It's like, I guess it's like y'all music too. I know you have so many unreleased tracks.
Yeah,
many
tracks, demos, just random sounds,
ideas.
Yeah, man,
it's tough.
But I mean, yeah, I guess we started speaking about it a little bit the other day. It's like this idea of like perfectionism and like making everything perfect, making sure everything is like HD, the sound is like super crisp, and it just keeps holding us back, to be honest. And like, actually, I had a conversation about this yesterday. So as I was saying, I'm in the south of Germany. I'm in a town called Garmisch-Partenkirchen. I definitely butchered the pronunciation, but it's all good. And the last couple of days, I went on 2 hikes. And yesterday, I'm gonna flex a little bit. I climbed a 1,300 meter mountain, and it was super, super sick. Like amazing views over the whole town, looking at over at the Alps on the other side of this town.
Ooh.
Bro, fire.
Need some pics for that.
I'll definitely post something. Definitely post something on Nomadic as well. So y'all probably have seen that by the time this episode comes out. But basically, I get to the top, right? I'm super exhausted, and I end up chatting to this dude, and like, he seems like a guy. He really likes to travel and stuff like that. Anyways, long story short, he left before me, and I left like from the peak of the mountain, essentially where I met him. And about an hour and a half, more like 2 hours later, I'm going down the mountain, and I caught up to him, and we started talking. We had a beer at the bottom of the mountain, kind of thing, just to chat a bit. and he talks to me. He's like, "Yo, I want to visit Africa, blah blah blah. It's one of the continents like I haven't been yet. Super excited." So anytime I meet someone that's like, "I want to go to Africa," I'm like, "All right, man, you're my homie now. Like, just link me, and like, if you ever want to go, let me try to hook you up with anything." So whatever, that's cool. He starts asking me about like what it's like for white people in Africa and this and that. Some questions you might have, and we can talk about that maybe later. But
Mm.
he followed my Instagram, and then he's like, "We Nomadic podcast. Is that you?" And I'm like, "Yeah, bro. That's our podcast. Like, we released a couple episodes last year and that." And I was like, "But we're trying to start up again, but it's difficult sometimes." Dang, this story really dragged on just to say this, but it's difficult sometimes, like trying to make it perfect and do the editing and everything, make it the best possible product, as opposed to just like releasing it and then getting better, as we're going along. And he told me about this podcast that he really enjoys, but he's like, "Bro, I listened to this like Spanish podcast because dude's trying to learn Spanish like you, Jimmy." Um, and he's like, "Bro, the audio quality is not good, like at
Mm.
all. Like it just sounds a bit like rusty." But when I listen to the podcast, the guy just like, he conveys his mood, he conveys his good energy, just through his voice. And besides that, the quality doesn't really matter because I enjoy listening to it and I get something out of it. So that made me even like more motivated to do the episode today with you guys. But yeah, anyways, just
No, I
had
think for
to.
sure. I feel like it's more about the content, to be honest, rather than the quality. And yeah, we talked about this multiple times. Like your expectation or whatever, your standard might be here, but your level right now is here, and trying to that gap kind of halts your progress a lot. But yeah, like you said, I think it's just to do with the content, and if someone can get something out of it, um, then that's a plus. Like when we used to do them back in the day, I remember we used to end them, and all of us were like, "Yo, this conversation just makes us, it like uplifts us so much." Like,
Mm. Mm.
um, so we were just happy to sit down and have the conversation. So yeah,
Yeah.
I'm happy back at it.
Yeah, for real, man, for real. I feel like anytime we make anything or anytime you create anything, there's always that on one hand it's good because you put a standard for yourself. You always want to be like, all right, we're in a way, we're not high, we don't want to, we're not high achievers, but like we really want everything to always be at a certain level because we also try to hold ourselves to a certain standard, which is
Mm-hmm.
great. It just shows like, we want to make great things, we want to achieve great things, but like at the end of the day, when that gets to the point where it stops you from doing things, that doesn't make any sense. You know what I mean? When you set yourself a
Yeah.
standard and then it's almost fear holding you back from just going and out and doing it. That's when it gets problematic, man.
Yeah.
So I have that with music. I think just creating anything, that's kind of a problem we have. And like going head first right now, I think is the way to go for real, man.
Yes, sir. Head first, all the way.
I agree. I agree.
Yeah, man.
But anyways, we wanted to do a quick nomadic podcast. I mean, nomadic update, right? Like kind of the stuff we've been up to.
Yes,
Indeed.
sir.
So the
I
the
think
most recent thing is on you, Lewis.
Oh, uh,
What do
you
you
Lo-fi
dropped
mean?
you
Y'all
dropped the
y'all
EP.
dropped
You
the
dropped
whole
the EP.
y'all
oh,
dropped the
right,
whole
right,
EP,
right, right, right.
man.
I was just so much. We've been doing so much. I was just clarifying what we're gonna talk about. Yeah. So I'm sure you might have heard about the lo-fi EP that Hibachi and Huyo dropped. When was that? Maybe like 2 months ago? Last month? 2 months ago or
It
something?
was in June, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think June. So yeah, just real quick, it was a 4-track EP, two by myself and two by Eric. Um, I think that was it's yeah the start of us starting to release um instrumental music, because we are producers and we make the instrumentals. Part of Nomadic is also wanting to get artists on our beats and stuff as well and collaborate as well. But um, I guess that also has to do with um the hindering thing. It's not necessarily like waiting for artists that's an issue and stuff, but like more so we want to push ourselves um to put out our own, creative content so that we can, I guess, attract artists and
Yeah.
for people to listen to as well. And I feel like a lo-fi EP was a pretty cool way to do that at the start because lo-fi is pretty chill. You can listen to it when you're traveling, when you're studying, when you're just relaxing. There's a couple of different moods in there. Um,
Mm.
some hype, some chill. But yeah, it was a dope process. We're hoping to drop something else soon, which is a completely different vibe. But yeah, same EP with Hibachi. If you wanna check out Nomadic on Spotify. I believe it might be actually no, it's not on YouTube. It's just on Spotify. It's called Nights on Toure, by the way.
Mm.
Nights on Toure by We.Nomadic, inspired by Toure Drive, Dar es Salaam. If you
Hmm.
know about Dar es Salaam, like we grew up in
If you
Dar,
don't,
Toure Drive. Um, it's just like a road by the beach, like really nice little chill road right next to the ocean. Um, and it was inspired by that mood of just like driving down there at night and just I don't know,
so
being in
nice.
some sort of trance.
Mm.
Yo, because you're drunk, bro. Because you're drunk, bro.
Low key. I feel
Yeah,
like
dude, high
most of
key,
us have
bro.
experienced Toure Drive when
Like,
we're not on this earth. But
bro, it's just yeah. So basically, it's just this road in Dar that goes like by a cliff, and it's like it's a really nice road, especially during the day. Like you got this nice view out on the big ocean, and at night it leads to kind of it leads to an area where you got some places you can go and get drinks, a casino, and a shisha place. So like a lot of times on the weekend you end up going in that direction,
mm,
or just like cruising down it because it's a nice road.
yeah,
And I know we just have a lot of memories there. A lot of menaces go down that road for sure. It
for
can be
sure.
quite dangerous depending on when you're there. In terms of just how people drive, like absolute savages. Um, but that's to expect when every random 16-year-old gets like a nice whip to just tear up the tarmac with.
Yeah,
But
that's even a whole other discussion. But yeah, it's quite funny because there's definitely different sides of Toure Drive. You know what I mean? But the EP is more of like the chill, you know,
yeah,
romanticizing the little drive at night. It's
yeah.
dark. You're just whipping, even though I don't drive, but chilling in the
I
back
used to
seat.
always go home that way, man. In the tuk tuk at night, the wind coming through. It was so relaxing,
Hmm.
man.
I think you
Yeah,
guys did a really good job at capturing that vibe though, not just with the songs themselves, but even with the artwork and everything. The
Yeah,
way it was packaged, just it, at least for everyone who knows Toure Drive, you really captured that vibe well. And I think you guys also got some feedback, right, from people being like, yo, I really felt that, it really brought me back to TZ. So I think you guys did a good job with that. And but I think even for people who don't know Toure Drive, the whole late night cruising, everyone can kind of relate to that in their own way.
yeah, for
And I think you
sure,
guys really like you caught that vibe, man. When I'm biking at night, even and I'm just cruising and I listen to it, I'm like, it puts you in a state. So whatever you guys intended, like that came through really, really strong. So hats off to you guys for that, man.
appreciate it.
Just real quick, did you guys hear that at Toure Drive they have it's 4 lanes now, so they expanded the road.
that's
So it's
terrible.
Bruh,
mm,
Dar's
That's
so different.
terrible, man.
I'm scared to go back. No cap.
Bro, and like they built a new bridge, eh?
but that's why exactly.
Yeah, man,
Oh,
it's just
it
crazy.
connects to Touré Drive, huh? The bridge.
Mm, mm.
Yeah, it's like where that lighthouse is used to be on Toure Drive, like the end.
Dude, I know people hit 150 on that from the bridge to Touré Drive, dude.
Yeah, wait. Some stories probably
It's
shouldn't
gonna
be
be
said on
like the
this
new
podcast,
Bagamoyo
but
Road, dude.
yeah. So it goes
Um,
from that lighthouse to like Aga Khan. That
yeah,
that thing crosses right in my nice view of the ocean, dude. So used
yeah,
to, because my house was situated, is situated
yeah.
right there.
So,
But
anyways, just quick to give the context so people are not over here like super confused. Basically, Dar es Salaam, you have like this a peninsula where like very suburban area kind of stuff, and to go into town, you have to go like quite an annoying road across this like other bridge, and there's a lot of traffic. So now they built a bridge straight from the peninsula that goes to town, and it goes to this road that Eric and Lewis made their EP about, essentially, to reduce traffic. But from the pictures I've seen, it just looks like really amazing, to be honest. But we'll see. I guess, yeah, Lewis, you're going back to Tanzania soon, huh? So you'll see exactly
yeah,
what it's
man.
like.
Yeah, I'll see all the changes. Low key a bit skeptical, but I'm also excited. I haven't been back since like it's been like 3 years, like 2019, the summer of
Wow.
2019. Obviously, COVID and stuff happened,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
yeah, it's gonna be mad, dude. So definitely gonna soak it all up, soak it in again, and share it on Nomadic as well. Because I don't think
Mm.
anyone's been to. Have any of us been back to Dar since
Bro,
the creation of
no,
Nomadic?
man.
That's crazy.
Lewis, I'm
That's
gonna need you to
wild.
I'm gonna
Yeah,
need you
man.
to
I'm
take
gonna
everyone on a tour, man. Show
for
everyone the
real.
spots, man, and tell
The
some
origin
stories.
story. The origin
The
Mm.
story.
origin stories, man.
No lie. Yeah.
What are
No, for
you
sure.
most
I'm
looking
excited to
forward
do
to,
that.
man?
Oh, that's a good question. Um, I don't know. I feel like just everything, man. I'm not gonna lie. Like I want to be back home again, just surrounded by that culture again, surrounded just by like the socialness, because obviously it's obviously completely different living outside of Africa, like in Europe and the UK. Um, the scenery, it's gonna be weird though, because like I would say the people, but there's not gonna be nowhere near as many people that I
Yeah.
knew when I was there last time, because obviously loads of people have moved, but there's still gonna be people there that'll be good to catch up with. Um, and yeah, the heat, bruh. I'm dipping
Mm.
out
Yo.
specifically October until after winter, bruh. I'm
Oh
not
my
coming back
God.
here when it's
Clutch.
snowing, dude. I
That's
know.
amazing,
Clutch.
dude.
So I'm looking forward to miss out winter. No cap. I've had 3 years of this
Bro,
hazardness.
I had
Yeah.
that like skipping. Like, I feel like when you're in Europe, there's just, if you can somehow set yourself up to be able to leave for multiple months at a time, Europe is a great place to live. Like, if for me personally, it's like, can I stay can I stay summer? Can I stay here in Europe in summer and then dip out for like pretty much like fall is like kind of nice, beginning fall, beginning winter. It's like a nice cozy season. That
Hmm.
Christmas, dip out when it's cold, come back for a little bit. Then when spring starts, hay fever season, dip out for like 2 months again, and then come back for the start of summer and just go crazy, man.
Yeah, you gotta pick your moments, pick your
Yeah,
seasons to be here for.
yeah,
But yeah,
Yeah, bro. Ideally, you live half a year in Europe, half a year maybe in Africa, another continent where it's warm.
hmm
That's ideal, man.
End of fall to summer, just gone.
Mm, that's amazing,
yeah.
dude. How are you guys dealing with the heat, Lewis? Is it just as hot in Scotland right now? Is it you hitting 30 over there?
um. Ooh, I haven't been checking temps. Not gonna lie, but it feels like it's 30. I won't lie, dude. It definitely
Let me
has
let
felt
me
like
check
it's
on my
30.
end, bro.
It's
Well, we
nice though,
gotta.
because like when it's summer here, it's like it's actually nice. But when it's winter, it's bad.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, today actually is completely blue sky, no clouds. I can't see no clouds. But I'm actually getting tan for once in Aberdeen, which is crazy. Been
Mm,
wearing like just t-shirts, shorts, get my skin out,
your
getting that
melanin
vitamin.
popping. Your me.
Yes,
Oh, wow,
Yes.
great.
That
ready to go
that
back home.
vitamin D. Yes,
I
wonderful.
know,
Just
but it's good.
amazing.
What about you
No,
guys?
Man, it's hot, bro.
we got a heat wave coming this side, man. We're looking
Wait,
at.
coming.
Coming.
We're here. But it's it has arrived. But
Mhm.
we got 4 or 5 days of like 32 degrees at least. Which, great for the summertime, bad for the climate. Obviously, this is pretty crazy. There's been so many 30 plus days this summer, which is just,
So many,
it's
bro.
actually
Yeah, man.
ridiculous. And if I think back to when I used to visit Holland when I was living in Mali or Tanzania, bro, like 30 degrees, that was not at all the
Unheard of,
norm.
bro.
That was
Unheard
like,
of.
if it hit 30 degrees,
You
that's
might get like one day
very,
in summer when it was 30 back then.
maybe one, and then
Mm-hmm.
even like 25 and like between 25
You'd be
and
like,
30
oh,
was like, yo,
nice.
it's warm and
Yep.
lovely, lovely. But like, okay, now 10 years later, right now, at least like 2 weeks of 30 plus degrees. Almost, we hit 40 once. Record high
Yeah,
temp, record
bro.
high temperatures everywhere. It's like, it's messed up,
What
man.
the hell, dude? Dude,
It's
like I was
lethal.
shook, bro. Like, uh, yeah. So back then, when we used to come back to Holland from Mali, where it was like there it would be like 35, 40 and stuff in the hot season. The hot season would be coming to an end, and then we would come to Holland for summer, and it would be like 20, 25, and it would be wearing a hoodie, bro. It
Yeah,
would be like,
yeah,
it's not that warm out here, bro.
yeah. And our friends
And
would be like wearing shorts, and we'd be like,
yeah,
yo, chill, it's not
like,
that
yo,
hot.
dude, it's cold, bro. So, uh, now it was crazy because our mom now lives in Burkina Faso, and it was the hot season on that side. We had days where literally I have all, you know how you keep all the different like cities with the in your what's it called, the weather
Weather app.
app.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. So I always see, like, I always put the country like where there's some people that I care about. I'm just trying to see what's going on, you know? It's funny. Bro, there was so many days where it was hotter in Holland than in Burkina Faso, bro.
No way.
Mm.
What?
Burkina Faso is essentially a desert. It's not a desert,
That's
but it's
insane.
dry, man.
Yeah.
I was like, no,
It's
It's
dangerous,
backwards,
man.
man. It's
it's back.
dangerous, man. That's the way.
Seen
That's
like
exactly the word.
clips in I'm sure it's the same everywhere, but specifically like in areas in like London of like the trash bins outside just like melting and like house fires starting from just heat. And I've never seen that before, bro.
All right.
I feel like low key a lot of that housing or just the UK in general is not equipped for this type of heat, bro.
Nope.
Like we don't got fans over here. When it's hot, all you can do is open this window that opens like this much, dude.
No, yep, bro.
Because usually you're trying to keep in all the warmth, but now it's a struggle.
Quick public service announcement to all the listeners. Make sure to call your grandma today, call your granddad today, and tell them to drink some water.
Facts,
Cause,
facts.
bro, on top of that, it's so terrible. Like all these forest fires and stuff that's been going on.
Yeah, man. I think in these next years, man, like, I mean, we've been seeing it just increasing. Like, it's just gonna become a norm, which is like a super sad and scary realization. And like, for
Mm-hmm.
now, we can like go out and we're gonna make the most of these nice warm days, whatever, whatever. But at some point, like, I don't know, these fires and stuff, it gets closer to home, man. It gets closer to home, and then once it starts to affect you, you're like, all right, because that's how it always is with this climate stuff, right? It's like when it's at a safe distance, you're kind of just like, climate crisis is here, but like I'm okay, I'm privileged enough to be all right. But then at some point when it comes close, it's like, okay, man, we gotta,
Yeah, you really feel
Yeah.
that
you gotta feel it, man.
sense of urgency a little bit. How do you guys cope with the heat sometimes? Because sometimes over here, like in Dar, I've never felt like I'm a hot weather type of person. I've never felt like uncomfortably hot. But
Dude,
I
that's
feel
a
like
lie, bro. That's a
like
lie,
literally
bro.
no in
In
Dar,
dark, you're not gonna tell me
no.
that sometimes when you had soccer practice, you wouldn't be like, "Damn, it's too hot today."
No, it's hot, but I expect it. It's not like it's too hot for me to function, go about my business. Cause like
All right.
in Dar, I'm just like prepared for it. But here, bruh, like I feel like after not being in Dar for such a long time, when it got hot here like this, the first couple of days I was like, nah, I can't do this. It's not even like hot like it is in Dar, but just
No,
I haven't been in that like mindset being prepared for it in so
right,
long that like the heat actually was hitting me a bit different this time. So I want to know like how do you
bro.
guys, if you have that kind of struggle, and how do you cope with it?
Mm.
For me, dude, like when I when it starts to get hot, or like when it you know what the weird thing is here as well, yeah? It'll just get hot all of a sudden. Like it'll just be like a bit cold one week, and then you see start of the week, even Monday, 30 degrees. And the whole week is hot.
Nice
so for
start of the
me,
week.
I take like at least like 3-4 days to acclimatize. Like even when I go back home, anytime I go to a whole different climate, I take like a couple of days to acclimatize, where basically I feel like shit the first few days, always like that. But the way I cope, a couple of years ago, I moved into a room, guys. Student life, all y'all know, man. I basically lived in like an attic type room, and my only escape was the roof hatch. Was the only access to the outside. You know what I'm saying? There was just a window, but it went to the hallway. So basically,
A window to the
when
hallway.
yeah, and then there was
Damn.
there was natural light in the hallway, which kind of came into my room, you know. But so I'm like, the summer is starting, right? This is my first year in this place. And I'm just constantly like trying to sleep downstairs because we had like on the couch or something because it's too hot in my room. Anyways, circumstances in the house changed. I was always had to sleep in my room in summer. But my only option to get air in my room was to open the little thing, you know? So, you know, I'm good. I bought a little fan and stuff, bro. Like I'm kind of all right. Then I just noticed the worst thing, dude. Every single time when I open that thing to the roof, every time without fail, as soon as I open it, mosquitoes come inside. So I'm there the whole night. First of all, it's hot. I'm already like literally sweating in my bed because I'm at the top. All the heat's there, you know, bro.
Right.
And I can't open the roof because mosquitoes come inside. So I'm just there, bro. Literally every night going to sleep dripping, dude. It was terrible. I had a shocking summer, dude.
Yo, sweating while you sleep, honestly,
It's
is
not
one
it,
of the
dude.
worst feelings ever, bruh.
It's
It's
so
got to the
bad,
point,
bro.
sometimes I got like a towel specific for when I sleep. When I sweat, I put it on the side of my bed because I know I'm going to wake up. Wake up, bruh. You just feel nasty. You're like, yo, wait, really?
Nah,
You look
it's
at
so
yourself in
messed
the
up,
mirror
bro.
like, yo, really?
Yo,
Decided to
trust.
do this.
Bro, you be feeling like a wet fish out of water, just lying around on your
Yeah,
bed.
you get up, dry yourself, and look at the bed. I gotta go back in. It's wet. Nah,
It's messed up,
Nah,
bro.
bro.
Bro, and
Nah, nah.
I live like on the fourth floor, you know, so like I don't know, for some reason I had in my mind like and I have like 8 windows in this small space, so I'm like, oh, I can leave the windows open at night. It'll be nice and breezy. Let me tell you, in these 32 degrees, there's no breeze up here, bro. I keep it open, but it doesn't do anything, dude. So I go to bed, I'm like, I'll keep my windows open, it'll be airy. Just forget it, bro. Ain't no air coming through with this
Forget
heat
it, bro.
at this
Forget it.
height, man. It's just
that's
unbelievable, man.
when you feel proper cheated, bro. When you open your window and can't even feel the air, can't even hear the wind.
Nope.
You
Like,
just be
what do
like,
I gotta do, man?
you put your hand outside, you're like, it's the same. It's the same.
For real, man.
Yeah, man.
Bro.
Proper cheated.
So this reminded me like one of my hottest, I would say like there's two times, bro. One of my hottest like sleeping experiences. It was awful, bro. It was awful. But first, let me start off like so we were living in Mali, yeah. Bro, Mali is next level hot. There in like the hot season, 40 degrees is like so normal, bro. So normal, dude. And you just have to go about your everyday business. You think you don't have PE because it's hot. You have it, bro. You think you don't have field trips that go outside walking because it's hot. You go, you know? And I remember one day, like we went to this farm to visit on a field trip. I must have been in like, I was in 6th grade, yo. So we take the bus, we go to this farm, and we're just walking around, and there's like a weather station on the farm. I go to look at the thermometer, bro. I saw 50. I was like, oh, wait, what's wrong with my school? What's wrong with my teacher? What on earth am I doing here on this farm with no shade, bro? Oh my God, dude. I had the worst headache in my life going home on that bus, dude.
That's
But
outrageous.
anyway, that's just to demonstrate the West Africa heat, bro. So a couple years later, I'm like a bit older. I'm going to the village to stay. I was 16. I went to Burkina Faso by myself. Went to go visit my grandma and stuff. Whoops. Went to go visit my grandma, and like, bro, you know how concrete just it collects the heat, bro. And then at night, it can even be cold. When you stand near a building, you even feel the heat coming off it, bro. So I'm sleeping. I'm like telling my grandma like it's too hot inside, and outside there's a breeze. It's nice and cold, but inside it feels like daytime heat, bro. I'm like trying to sleep outside, and my grandma's like, I don't speak the same language as my grandma, dude. But my cousin translating, and I'm like, yo, grandma, I'm gonna sleep outside and stuff. I set up my bed, everything, mosquito net, calm. I'm so excited, bro. She just came. She's like, don't sleep outside. There can be like spirits in that, bro. And I was like, grandma. She was like, don't sleep outside. I was like,
Damn.
I went to sleep inside, bro. The whole night, I just kept on going. Like I would take a towel and completely soak it and just put it on my back and try to sleep. And I'm just
Jeez.
sweating, bro. Within like literally with the heat, bro. Within like 30, 40 minutes, the towel would just be dry again.
What the heck?
Nah, man,
That's
not it.
insane.
Not it. Not it. Not it.
Yeah, wait. When it's that hot, bro.
Just wait till it comes to Europe, dude. They're gonna do
Wait.
something about climate change.
There's gonna
Yeah, I mean,
be national holidays left, right, center, bro. As soon
They
as
had
it
that
hits
in the
50.
UK, no?
Did they?
Yeah. You didn't look. Oh,
No
you're
way.
in
I didn't know
Scotland,
that.
bro. It's fine,
Maybe. I don't
bro.
know, bro. I
They
didn't
had
hear
a
about
day,
that.
dude. They had a day in the UK this summer, like a few weeks ago, where they actually gave a day off for the
It was
heat,
too
man.
hot.
Yeah.
Damn.
here we go. That's what I was gonna say. Wait till it comes here, bro. It's here. What are you talking about, bro? It's here. It's here to stay. I was already telling you, Marty. I was reading this article the other day, and it was like one of the first things it said that just stuck to me, and I was like, it just gave me that fear again. It was like this summer that you're experiencing right now, like keep note of it. It's gonna be one of the coldest summers that you're gonna see for a while.
Yeah.
Coldest. Increase from here. Yeah, just forget it, man. It's insane. Yeah,
Bro.
I
bro.
swear there was a day off in the UK for the heat. I can't find it now, bro.
Loki, that kind of rings a bell. I don't know if it happened or they were talking about it, but there was bare people. Like I've never seen that many people like enjoying the heat in the UK this much. Like
Really?
every beach just on the news, like in places like that, all the beaches just completely covered in people. But
Man.
but yeah. Just to move on a little bit. Slim, I know you just came back from a massive trip, huh? You're on your
I did,
little
sir. I did, man.
Gulliver's Travels. Let the people know, man, where you been at.
Yeah, man. I first of all, on that note, like
Soul searching.
it helps so much in terms of acclimatizing again that I came back, that I went from a hot country. In my trip, I was in South America. I came back and it was just as hot, if not even hotter. So I'm really blessed for that. But so in February I decided to in February I left the Netherlands to go travel for 4 months, which was life-changing experience. It was honestly, like, I still think about it every day. I'm still sort of, living it in so many ways. I took a lot from the trip, and really blessed I was able to do that. But man, so I started off in Brazil with Marty. Marty came with me, and we had 3 weeks of just absolute. I think the way I see my trip, right? Because I went to 4 different countries. I did a lot of different things. I see this trip in like chapters, right? So chapter
Mhm.
one for me was like brother time and like partying in Brazil. That was really like, it was partying and solid brother love.
Mhm.
So we got to
Yeah,
Rio de
Surfing, bro.
Janeiro.
Surfing.
Surfing of course, but like in my head, yeah, I think it's also different because for you, like the surfing, that was like, you went to Brazil and like you got into surfing, and that was like your moment, which I had in Portugal last summer. Whereas like in my head in the trip, like the surfing was like, when I think surfing, I think Mexico, man. Mexico was like, I think I surfed for like 3 weeks straight over there. But no, it
damn.
was insane, dude. But yeah, Marty, how was the? I'll let you talk a little bit about the Brazil chapter, man. How was that for you? Going on a trip with me, but then also just, you know, after the pandemic, being locked in for so long, and then just being able to kind of let loose somewhere. And what it
Unleash
yeah, and
yourself.
being so
Um,
far from what we know, we've never been to that continent. We never really experienced Brazilian culture, let alone any Latin American culture. So how was that for you, man?
Man, look, honestly, Brazil was amazing. First of all, hats off. Like, I pretty much be recommending people to go to Brazil all the time. And like, you know what it is? Like, for me, when it, like you said, kind of like after COVID, letting off steam, kind of like doing your thing, letting go, like enjoying, like, living your best life essentially. So I basically just finished uni as well, got my master's degree. And so, this was my time to celebrate really. And I definitely did do that. But I think it's not so much of like, I couldn't do that in Holland because everything had like started opening up again. You could go out and stuff. You can still have a good time essentially. But having lived in Holland for 6 years, like I'm bored of it. Like I don't really have that good of a time. Like if I just go out in Holland, to be honest. But when we're in Brazil, pretty much anything we would just do, it was fun. Like it was just everything was new. So
Mm,
Hmm.
for me, it's not even just like letting go, bro. It's just like going to a whole new place, breaking free of like your old routines, your old patterns, and just kind of, you know, and just enjoying in that sense. And I think Brazil was good for that, just because I felt like in Rio and in Salvador, like it's the type of place. It's really a good place for me, just because I felt like I could really be myself there.
mm,
It's I found it in a way from my experiences. I found that it had some of the good things that we find in Africa and some of the good things that we find in Europe kind of like mixed
Mixed
in,
in.
mm.
um, which was really cool. So like the party culture was like very much present, which, there's party culture in Africa as well, but I feel like it's just, I don't really know how to explain it, man. But, you know, uh, socially, I felt it was quite similar to Africa in terms of like people's openness and stuff like that, and like how easy it is to like connect with people. Um, so that was really really awesome. But I mean, I think for me the main thing is just that going to a new place where going to a new place where somehow you feel at home. Like I just felt at home there, like
Mm.
from the day I arrived. So go if you can find a place like that, enjoy it to the fullest and go there, because that's what I think it was for me. Like I can in Holland, you can be yourself, like in your home country, whatever, right? But you're still stuck in certain patterns of how you relate to people or what you do or your friends and people's expectations and stuff like that. And just going to a whole new place where I could still be myself and maybe even be more of myself, because there's like zero expectations in anyone that I speak to.
Right.
So I think that was really for me why it was so like, what's the word? Cathartic, right?
Mm.
Cathartic, right? I think that's the word. Um, where I could just literally fully like let go and just like live, really. Um, and then yeah, stunning scenery, beautiful people inside and out. Amazing beaches. We did some great surfing. We met some super awesome, cool travelers and stuff like that. And yeah, I mean, I think my 3 weeks in Brazil was not long enough. It's such a huge country, and we
Mm.
only visited like two cities. So for me, it's really like I can't wait to go back. I like to go to countries I visit. I like to go at least twice. First time is kind of like, you know, explore a bit, kind of figure out what I like there, what I don't. Get to know some people as well,
Hmm.
and then it's really awesome when you go to a country for the second time, because you know certain things already and you know people, and I feel like you can have an even better experience. So yeah.
Yeah, 100%,
I
man.
like that. I
Um
like that.
and then I
Yeah,
said goodbye to my brother.
farewell. Yeah, it was
Dude,
emotional, man.
I
But
cried in the taxi on the way to the other airport, dude.
really,
Oh, facts.
yeah, this is the first time I'm hearing about this, man. Not gonna lie, dude.
I'll be honest.
That's cute. That's cute. That's cute.
Nah, but
That's
it
real
was. I
love.
like what I like one thing you said, man. Was about well, two things. The first thing was about this like breaking out of routine, right, and just being in a new environment. I had that feeling of excitement and like new things stimulating me every single day. Like not just in Brazil, but my whole 4 months. I'd wake up and I'd know damn well that I'm about to experience something new, and what that does to you is like it makes you so present, because you're just waiting to, or you're not even waiting, but you're just exploring, walking down the street, and everything is just new. You're learning like new things, you're learning from new people. And there's something about that and about being on like traveling for so long and just knowing that every single day is just full of like surprises. Like I don't know, it really makes you really really appreciative of every little thing that's going on around you, right? And like I think with the pandemic particularly, but then also just in general, when you're living in one place for a long time, what you said, Marty, is like you can get very easily stuck in routines, but also stuck around certain people. And not to say those people are bad for you or anything, but it's just a lot of the same. And I think that's where like going and removing yourself from your environment can do you
Mm.
a lot of good, just because it just, I don't know, it brings you new ideas, new inspiration. Like I remember coming back and I felt a different energy around me. I felt very light. I felt very like clear in my thinking, but also just full of like experience, which was just really amazing. Um, and then another thing you said, Marty, was about going to Brazil, and then you kind of felt like you could really be yourself, but even a heightened version of yourself. That's something that I also went through, man. It was like not even a height. It was like you could be yourself and be a heightened version of yourself, but you could also find new parts of yourself that maybe had been lost, and
Yeah.
maybe you never discovered. I definitely. So after Brazil, I went on to Colombia. I went and did a Spanish course in Bogota. I did some salsa lessons as well. On that note, actually, every Tuesday during the summer here in Holland, they do like on this like square, you can do like they basically, this club or bar organizes like salsa and merengue and bachata. So like the whole square is just full with people dancing, and then around the people is just everyone watching. And
Damn.
I went for the first time the other day, and it was such a vibe. First of all, it made me super nostalgic, but then I also realized like, damn, there's so many people here, all just vibing and dancing. And I realized it made me think of like this idea of like going and just doing new things, and like being in
Mm-hmm.
your same environment, and also just finding new little things to do that can also just re-excite you, which is really nice. But yeah, so I went on to Colombia, was doing salsa, doing Spanish. And then when I went to work on the island, I went to, I mean, that's a whole story in itself. But basically, I was volunteering at an eco hostel in the middle of like the Caribbean Sea, which was as crazy and like
As crazy as it
dreamy as it
sounds.
sounds. Like it really was unreal. Like the island was the hostel, right? So it's not like it was a big island and the hostel was on it. Like the island was the hostel. It also translates the house on the water, which was just a crazy experience to be out there. But it was really in that month of volunteering there where I was just like, I was exactly what you said, Marty, a heightened version of myself, and I was discovering parts of myself that I had never seen before. And my confidence. I swear, like there was my
Well, like
confidence.
what? Like what? Like what?
It was just like it was. I think it was a certain confidence that I feel like I had kind of lost, maybe, or that I just hadn't been in touch with in a while. And I was just out there in this island. New people were coming every day, so I'm greeting people. I think it was also just the constantly interacting and having to like put myself out there and just be myself. That just when you do that for a long time and over every single day, it just gives you a certain type of confidence and like trust in yourself and in your ability. And that felt really good. And
Mm.
as the weeks went on, my Spanish was getting better. I was making relationships with all types of people. I was like, man, you know, when I really am in this element, I can, yeah, man, I really felt like I was flourishing. And that was a feeling I hadn't felt in a while, being in my same environment. I was doing great things at university for sure, like on paper doing a lot of cool stuff, but the feeling of flourishing and really being like, wow, I'm happy with what I'm doing and with where I'm at right now. I'm not thinking about tomorrow. I'm not thinking about yesterday. I'm just right here, right now, meeting people, just dancing, just living. Really, it was just a beautiful feeling, man. So yeah, I still like when I talk about it, I still feel it. I just get transported back there because I'm like, man, it was crazy, and I try to bring that energy back to me every day today, because it's really easy to kind of get back into routine, and I'm looking for work now. I'm looking for internships, so I'm trying to keep like the spirit alive while also knowing that I need to get back into like routine in some type of way.
Yep.
But yeah, it was that. Yeah, definitely what I took from that whole experience, and being out there on my own and really having to like put myself out there. That confidence and that sort of self trust that came from being alone for a long time. That I still 100% carry with me now, which I can feel. It was I was working at a festival this weekend, and I ran into two people that I know.
Food trucks.
One was from a girl that came 2 nights to Casa en el Agua,
What?
the Eco Hostel
You
worked
saw
at.
her at the festival?
I saw her. I was in my food truck, and she just came, and she was like, "What are you doing here?" And I was like, "What?"
That
It was
is
insane.
insane.
She's
No
Dutch.
way.
Yeah, and we had spoken once afterwards, after the experience, because she came to Rotterdam for like a festival. She was like, "Are you gonna be in Rotterdam?" I was like, "Nah, shame." And then we just saw each other, and I was like, "What?" And it just like it was so weird. Like I was even startled. I was even like stuttering a bit because I didn't even. It was so weird having had that dream almost of an experience. Like it feels so far away and like only in my head, and then it was like like it just seeing
Brought
her
back to you
brought
like
it brought
super
it to
right in that
reality
moment.
again, and it was just like
Yeah.
only we know what that life at Casa del Agua was like. Like it was a very
That's crazy, bro.
surreal moment. And then another person I ran into, or two people, were these two from my volleyball team from like 3 years ago. And an interesting thing I noticed there, which is not even only to do with my trip. Obviously, in 3 years you grow a lot, but it was speaking to someone from a previous part in your life where you were like a different person in some ways. 3 years
Yeah.
ago, like I was 19 or 20, and I was much less confident. I was much less comfortable in my skin, and I noticed interacting with these two people where I remember at the time when I was in the volleyball team, like I was much more shy, and I was still, smoking a lot of weed back then. So I was just in a different mind state. And I remember feeling very anxious, even interacting with those people at that time. And now in this new setting, in this new, this new person that I am, it was so weird speaking to someone from way back. And then I noticed how differently I was interacting with them. And after the conversation, I was like, that was a really weird sensation, to speak to someone from a
Yeah.
different part of your life and to come with such a new energy. And I was like, it's those moments where you realize like, damn, I've grown a lot. I've developed a lot. And it really was like after they left, I would just kind of give myself a pat on the back, like, hell yeah, like I've grown, I've come along. I know, for
That's
real.
what's up.
I was like, I turned to
Good job, man. Good job.
no, like I
That's a
turned to my
dope
homie
feeling
and
though.
it really is a really nice feeling. And I keep having little
Yeah.
moments like that where before my trip, something would give me, I don't know, some type of anxiety, or I'd be really quick to say no to something. And then now I'm much more like, I don't know, more in touch with like what I want to do. And so it's those little moments that give me like some gratitude and some like, I did a good job, and I'm happy with the decision of going on this trip. It was amazing.
That's what's up, bro.
Yeah, man.
And don't get it twisted. This trip also like I've seen it firsthand because this trip is also the result of like a lot of hard work at in the restaurant where you worked at, and then this was kind of the culmination of like all these many months of work, to be able to even go on this trip in the first place. So I feel like that for sure must have made it also feel more rewarding in a
Rewarding.
certain sense,
Yeah,
it's not
100%.
gifted.
Yeah, exactly, man. And it's not even the hard work that came from like I worked at the restaurant pretty much to save, right? So there's that hard work, but then also the work before that, being at uni and like I was proud of a lot of the things I did, you know, and I worked hard as I wanted. And I after after graduating, you know, last August, it was a discussion I was having with Marty. I was like, or even before that, still while I was in my last year, I was like, I want to take on a different type of challenge. You know, like I have the capabilities to go and do a master's. I can go. I'm lucky enough to be able, you know, to probably if I look for work, like I think I'll be able to find it. Like I have experience a little bit. I have, you know, my degree. So like I'm grateful I have that. But that's gonna come at some point. You know, at some point you're gonna have to work. At some point you're gonna have to maybe do a master's. And like it's like why not? Why does it have to be right now when I've just done 4 years of like exhausting work? You know, why do I have to go and continue right on? Because you notice that when you're studying and like right after, what do people ask you when you finish or when you're about to finish? It's like, oh, for me at least in my experience, it's like, oh, what masters are you doing next? Or when are you starting your master? Or, you know, what? Oh, you got any jobs lined up? Like what? It's a lot of times it's not like an open
Like you
thing. Like,
said,
oh, what's
it's really
you
just
know?
societal pressure, dude.
Mm.
It's not like, hey, what do you want to do now, or like, do you have anything exciting that you want to do, or like
Yeah, but
think about?
it's even like like when you say like, oh, I'm not there's like a stigma almost that comes with
Mhm. Yeah,
the saying I'm
Being
not sure
unsure.
or I
Yeah.
don't
yeah.
know or I'm figuring it out. It's like people are scared to say that, and I noticed that while traveling as well. It's like people were just
It's
like, yeah,
always
you
how do
know,
you
I'm
do, not how do you feel, bro.
yeah, man. And it's as soon as you start as soon as you start talking about your feelings or like, yeah, you know, I'm like people are not comfortable admitting that they're a bit uncomfortable and saying, "Oh, you know, I'm really not sure right now. Like I'm in this in between phase, and I need some time to figure it out." People very quickly want to, and I'm guilty of that myself. You know, you want to come up with like a clever way to package where you're at right now. So it's like, yeah. You know, I just finished, and I've been looking through some internships, and I've been looking for this, but. You start creating a story, a narrative where like you're trying to
Yeah.
come across a certain way, especially when it's someone you don't know.
For real.
And I think that's something that yeah, that we have to let go of as people in general, because at the end of the day, even someone who might have a job lined up, they're still figuring life out. They're still figuring out what they're trying to do and what their goals are. So like yeah, and I just want to add one more thing. Like I had this moment where I was guilty of it. And I was traveling. I was in Lewis, you can guess where. Marty too, dude. I was in
Check out
Chakawa.
Of course, check out, dude.
And
Mexico.
the eighth
I
wonder of
was
the
in
world.
Mexico. I was in Mexico, and I was in a really beautiful place, this remote surf village on the Pacific coast. And I met a homie, and he lived there. He moved there like 5 years ago. He's from Mexico, and
Yeah.
it was exactly where this was happening. Where he asked me, we were walking on the beach. You know, there was a fire in the distance. There was a big fire, and I saw smoke coming, and we were like, "Oh." He was like, "You want to go check it out?" I was like, "Shit, I guess." And we start walking, and then he's like, "Oh, so you know, what do you do, you know?" And it was in that moment, you know, it's like it was someone new, so I kind of felt like I had to subconsciously come up with something, you know, where in reality, what was I doing? I'm traveling, and I was just living, and I'm taking a break from society and from work and all that stuff. So like that's the answer really, and that's how I should have just said it.
Bro, Jimmy, I literally had the exact same experience. Not the exact same, but quite a similar experience yesterday. In this conversation that I had with this guy coming climbing down the mountain, you know. And so basically, and for context, I finished my master's thesis in last November. You know, I traveled. I went home for a month to Zambia. I went to Brazil. Some stuff in between. You know, I did a couple things here and there, but really, what it comes down to right now, like, I'm trying to figure out, you know, where do I want to call home? What do I call home? Like, what are the things that I need to do in my daily life so I'm happy? And, you know, there's, you know, everyone like me got their own issues to deal with. And those are some of the things that I'm trying to deal with right now. You know, I won't get into everything, but you know, long story short, right? I don't always know exactly what it is that I'm going to be doing what type of job I'm going to have. I don't always even want to talk to people about the things that I want to do. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like
Yeah.
people always be asking you like, or I mean, we're all guilty of it. I do it too, bro. Because sometimes you ask someone, it's like, what do you do? Oh, I do this job. Cool, calm. A super simple answer, you know. Some other people got a longer story. But right now I'm in like a very transitional phase of my life, and I don't always feel like, discussing the thoughts that I have about where it is that I'm going. So it's like, well, what do you do? I don't know how to answer it. And like Jimmy said, bro, it's like you start spinning this like story together in your head of like the various different things that you're kind of sort of thinking about and doing,
Yeah.
and like making that into a story that kind of sounds as credible and like
Yeah.
as acceptable, as possible, so that when you tell this stranger a lot of times, like what it is
Always.
that you're doing,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? That they're like, oh, cool, bro. When really, actually, when people ask me like, I've tried this a couple times, and then people just look at you all weird. It's like, what do you do, bro? I just live, man. I just live, man. I just live. I'm trying to figure out my life on a day-to-day basis. I live, man.
Mm.
You know? And it's like some people don't understand. They'll be like, what? Man, leave me be, man. I don't want to sit here and tell you a lie. It's not really a lie, but it's like a fabricated story of connections and thoughts and actions that you do over time to kind of put together into like, this is what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And I think even relates. I mean, we do this all the time. It comes back to even like nomadic and stuff sometimes, bro. Nomadic, it's on and off what we do. Sometimes we have a podcast, sometimes we don't. We're releasing music, sometimes we do, sometimes we have projects in the works, sometimes we don't. But people ask you like, what's nomadic? And you're like, oh yeah, we do this and this, bro. Sometimes we don't do shit. And it's fine, man. Even in your life, bro, sometimes do not doing anything. Okay, it's
Mm.
calm. But like society puts this pressure on us to just like lie, not almost lie, but like create these like, it's not fantasy, but it's like stretch the
It's like a
truth, you know?
script, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
A
bro.
script you kind of have to conform to. I think bringing it like low-key a little bit back to traveling, like I feel like if you think about your trajectory of life, like your school life, especially because like we're coming out of uni now, kind of expected to find a job and go into like the working
Mm-hmm.
working world. Like if you think about how many like transitional periods you go through in your life, like actual life defining moments, I feel like for me, I'd say probably coming out of high school, maybe like the end of high school, moving into uni was kind of like that, in
Yeah.
a sense where like I don't know, you're leaving this sort of education and moving on to the next step
Mhm.
that's gonna move you into
Yep.
um
Yep.
like your working life. But I feel like there's a pressure for
Dude,
those transitional periods to be cut
100%.
as short as possible so you can move on to the next stage of your life.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And that's why I feel like like a solo travel like Jimmy has just done is something that is like super like rich and powerful for literally anyone, like to because it's like a life defining moment. Like you find out so many things about not only other people but like Jimmy just said, like about himself, and
Yeah.
that carries on from when he's actually traveling to when he's back at home, and like he can see all this new side of himself and these new sort of things that he values. And I feel like that's where you find a bit more of like your purpose and what you like your likes and what you don't like, and you can feel a bit more comfortable in like if you want to follow this trajectory of like going into like a work like I guess like a normal working job, like after uni, like getting like a nice job in a firm or something like that. Like that's cool, but like I feel like the thing is like you get the like the confidence to be like, yeah, that's what I want to do, and not like to the point where you're pressured to do that, because
Yeah,
that is a lot of the time where people
exactly, bro.
are pressured to
Exactly.
just say like, yeah, that's what I want, that's what I'm gonna do because that's what everyone else does, which is
Straight up.
fine. But I feel like it's the actual decision making, um I don't know how to
Yep.
explain it, mindset that you can gain from taking some time and kind of like absorbing the time that you have in this transitional phase to figure out like your likes, what you don't like, try something new. Um,
Yep.
and then that can kind of lead you down different paths or lead you down the path that you always knew was there, but you were unsure to take. You know what I mean? Um, I saw this quote the other day. I don't exactly know it word for word, but it was something like travel is the only thing where you keep paying for it, but you get richer. So like you're spending money on it, but you're getting richer from it.
Facts, facts,
And
facts.
I feel like that was dope. Um,
Damn,
but
bro.
I bet you guys can resonate with that quite a lot
Yeah.
after this trip.
I mean, what, like, yeah, yeah. So this
You guys
whole
can hear me,
thing,
right?
right? It's also that's why I'm so happy
Can hear
that
you.
Jimmy, yeah, you're good, bro. That's why I'm so
All
happy
right.
that Jimmy even went on this trip. Like I never got the opportunity to do something like that. And out of my bachelor, I took a year off school. I took a year off school and I was like, okay, what I'm gonna do? I just did so many random jobs. And I just always had at the back of my mind, like, okay, I'm taking a year off and then next year I'm gonna do a master's degree, you know? But in
Mm,
that time, I never really actually sat down and was like, what do I want to do with my life? You
mm,
know, there's just certain things that to me kind of make sense that I should do. And I certainly enjoyed certain parts of my study, but I still feel like I was pressured into it. Not so much like, not so much by my parents, because if I had a good option, like a good reasoning, I would have like not done a master's degree and they would have been fine with it. But even that, right, is a certain type of pressure because I have to have a good reason, and the reason is not just like, oh, I don't feel like it right now, you know?
yeah.
Hmm.
Even though that might be the case in your life, you don't want to just go and do a degree right now, you know? But that kind of pressure and from society as well, bro, I had always been like a very low stress person in my life. And that situation, that cocktail of like, I need to do something, application deadlines for master's degrees are coming up soon. Um, that's the first that caused me my first panic attack of my life. And when I tell you it was a panic attack, it was a panic attack, bro. Like my heart was racing just sitting behind this computer at work that I was some dead job that I was doing for a bit, you know, to pay the bills. But like I had a crazy panic attack. I was out for 2 days straight. I just like slept after
Shit.
that, man. Like, you know what I mean? And it's just because we always want to be able to tell people like this is what I'm going to do. This is
Hmm.
my plan. Allow it.
Yeah.
Allow that.
It's in it. You know what it also comes back down to? It's like it's almost I almost related to this perfectionist idea where like you want to present yourself in like the most perfect or coherent way, even though at the end of the day no one is perfect and no one is coherent in many, you know what I mean? Like
Yep.
it's actually it's something we really need to unlearn, you know, in general, especially as young people, you know, because all we're doing is we're creating this almost this competitive atmosphere where you have to kind of be a certain type of way and you're trying to present yourself as a not something that you're not, because it's something that you're doing, but you're defining yourself by just the things that you do. And then when you're not doing many things, you feel lesser or something. And I think that's a it's an unhealthy way of thinking, and it's an unhealthy way of communicating to one another as well, you know. We need to be much more open to be like, you know what? I don't really know right now. And that's something that while when I came back from my trip, I I really felt, and it's not even like I'm not gonna pretend that I came back from my trip and I now all of a sudden see clear
Hmm.
as day and I know exactly what career I want to do and what I, you know, it's not at all that. But what I do feel is a certain comfort with being uh unsure and being uncertain and not knowing. When people ask me, I feel much less like, oh, I need to go and come up with something. It's like, no, I just went on a trip. I don't really know right now. I'm figuring it out. And that's okay. And I think it's also this idea of like, yes, traveling helps you, take distance and space and really helps you to think about your ideas and what you want to do. But I think it's also a lot about coming back and just being okay with where you're at, wherever that may be, because I also could have put this pressure on myself to like take those 4 months to figure out what my career is going to be and to figure out, but I, you know, I came back and I still don't really know, but what I do know is that I'm going to be okay. And I trust myself to figure it out. And I don't need to try to, make myself appear to be a certain type of way. So I think that that's one thing that we should all start like, yeah, talking about more, just being open about not knowing and figuring it out, because that's all we're all doing at the end of the day, man, for real. And it's yeah,
I guess.
it's a shame that it has to be like that, especially even with homies. Like, we can be a bit more honest, but when you're meeting a stranger, like, imagine how much more comfortable the conversation is if from the get you're just so open and like, yo, I'm not really sure, I'm kind of in a limbo. I've done like a degree, but I really don't know. And then they'll probably also be much more open about the realities of their job that they're doing. Maybe they'll be like, yeah, I'm doing it, instead of saying, I got a job at this company,
They might say,
that's
yo,
what I
I'm doing
do.
this job, but it's shit.
They might be like, I'm doing this job and it's not what I want to be doing forever. But it'll create more dialogue and more space for like honesty, and that's how we're gonna keep learning from each other. If we're just open
For
from the
sure.
get. So, and it's easier said than done, for sure, for sure. Like, I can't say I like I said, you still meet people and you try to package it, but something to always keep in mind.
That's what I'm saying, bro. I'm just, anytime people ask me what am I doing, I'm just gonna tell them I just live, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that now.
Just live, bro.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm a nomad.
I've pulled that out a few
Allow it.
times, man. They're like, how you doing? What's up? What you been up to? I'm like, I've been living, man. And then they're kind of like, oh, but
Well, yeah,
but when
exactly, bro. But what is living, man? Just.
but that's the thing. It's like, yeah, bro.
Anyways,
Like how you see me right now, this is how I'm doing this right
Yeah.
here. This is what I'm doing right now.
Exactly, dude. Yeah. It's that, you can tell how someone is doing by their face, whatever. Like, you don't need a. Yeah. Anyways,
Yeah, no, it's an amazing thing, man. Just to round up the topic of the travel, like, it was, I wouldn't even say, everyone needs to go out and travel, because everyone is their own person and everyone also, gets different things from different experiences. But for me, I can definitely say that it was something that I set many intentions before. I was like, I knew what I wanted to get out of it. I wanted to build up better confidence. I wanted to become a bit more comfortable in my skin, a bit more comfortable being alone, and reassure myself that, like, I can be in uncomfortable situations and navigate them 100%. I don't need the comfort of my loving big brother. I don't need, and that's not to say I don't want you, but yo, don't do that, man. Not right now, dude. Come on. No, but it's like I can do those things, and these are, yeah. So like, I intended to kind of work through those things and like, learn Spanish, learn surfing, all those other things. Like, those are intentions I set, and once you go out and set those intentions, and which I did, and I don't know, it manifested itself, and I got everything I wanted from that trip. And at the end of the trip, everyone kept asking me like, "Oh, I bet you want to go back so bad, and don't you want to continue?" Like, like all these stuff. And I was like, you know what? I would love to. I am gonna go back one day, but like right now, I don't need to go back. I got what I wanted from that trip. I set my intentions. I got everything I wanted times 10, and things I couldn't even have
that's
imagined.
mad.
And that's something I'm grateful for. And I don't want to hold on to like, oh, what there, I could have done more and I could have. No, I'm accepting whatever I did, because that's also a thought pattern that occurred a lot. It's like, when making choices of which city to visit, and it's like, you go and then you're like, damn, I could have done this, I could have done that. And I had to really let go of that idea of like, you know what, it is what it is, and I will come back and life is going to go on. So in the same way, when I got back, it's like, whatever the trip was, it was amazing. And now I'm in a phase of my life where I have other things I got to do,
Yeah, facts.
and I'm okay with that. I'm not trying to hold myself back and be like, oh, damn, dreaming of like, it would be so nice to just go and sit on the beach and do nothing for a little bit. You know, that's not what I want to do right now. I have different energy.
Yeah.
It's what I wanted to do before the trip, but now I want to do something
Yeah.
different, and I'm ready for it. I'm present. I'm here. So it was amazing experience for real, guys.
Damn, bro. That's
Safi.
what's up.
Yeah, sir.
Speaking of being by yourself, I wanted to tell you guys this story. Jimmy, I told you already, but Lewis, man,
Tell me.
I got scared recently, bro.
Scared. You got scared.
I got scared, man. So, anyways, like I was saying,
You get
I'm in
scared.
Germany. I'm by myself the last few days. I'm here pet sitting. And so I was like, let me go on a hike, man. Let me go on a hike. So behind the house, literally like 200 meters that way is some mountains, bro. So I go there. I'm with the dog. The dog is chilling right there. I'm with the dog, and I'm walking up this path, and I have this app for hiking, right? And it can like, and I saw, and it has like a topography map as well, so you can roughly see how steep something is.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, this is like it's roughly like a 500-meter climb from where I was, but it's almost straight up that climb. You know what I mean? Like it's not a windy road too much. Like it's a windy road, but it's real steep, including some sections of climbing, including some sections of you're looking over the edge and you're walking on that edge, bro.
Damn. Okay.
So anyways, I'm like at the bottom of this trek, and I'm like, all right, you know what? I'm gonna just take on this challenge. Cool. So I'm going up this mountain, bro. And I feel like I never really done hiking and stuff by myself before, but you know, I enjoy nature, so I was like, you know what, this is gonna be good. I'm with a dog, it's fun, bro. So I'm going up. First off, I get to a certain spot, bro, and I see crosses, dude. It's like a cave, yeah, bro. There's bare crosses of like dead people, you know.
Oh.
They got the little name tags and stuff. So
Wait.
I'm going up this hike, bro, and let me tell you, dude, it's very steep. So at a certain point, I'm like, and there's like the cliffs and that, like I was saying, bro. So I'm there, I'm like, bro, I'm tired, man. Like, should I go back? But then I was kind of too scared to go down. I won't lie, dude. Just be so honest with you. So I'm like, all right, cool. I'm like walking up this thing. Sometimes I'm like that. I pray, fam. I hope those crosses better not be for people who died on this mountain or something like that, dude. You know what I mean? Like I don't know what they're there for. I guess people maybe just could bring them there because it's a nice place type thing. But anyway, so I'm climbing up this thing. You know, sometimes you take a step, you just see the rocks fall down.
Yo, what?
And like at a certain point, yeah, I'm in the clouds, bro. I'm in the clouds. And there's like, so it's like grassy, rocky, some areas are like more forest kind of thing. So I'm going up and I'm at this kind of like, it's kind of like really steep up, and then there's kind of like this more chill area, you know, like before going back up steep again. And so I'm in this forest. It's like damn foggy, bro. It's so foggy, man. Like I'm literally in the clouds, bro. It's cold up there, man. So I'm just sitting there on this log, like drink some water, you know, taking a little break. It's an eerie spot. I'm just sitting there, bro, and I just hear like this. Like damn loud, bro, whistling, bro.
What the heck?
Imagine, dude. I was like, what's going on, bro? I'm sitting there, dog. Dog, I'm just looking around. I'm like, yo, what's this, man? What's this? What the hell, bro? Just comes back again, whistling, bro. A loud whistle. So I'm sitting there on the log. I'm like, yo. I'm just sitting there by myself. I'm like, yo. I don't know how to whistle, man. What's up? I'm thinking somebody is like in the forest, like maybe that's how they call people or something. They whistle to not disturb the animals by yelling or something, you know? So I'm thinking this dude is doing like a whistle in the forest, like trying to call me. I'm like, yo, I don't know how to whistle, bro. Where you at? Like this in this forest. And like the thing is, this is like such a steep hike, bro. I didn't see, there's no people, like barely people use this trail, you know? I didn't see any people for over an hour by the time I get to the spot, you know? So I'm just like, yo, what the heck? I'm literally kind of scared. I'm like, like, you know, I'm here in the south of Germany, bro. I know, some people can be kind of conservative out here, bro. Like,
Damn.
don't get me wrong.
Could have
Most of the people
got.
I've spoken to and met down here are super, super friendly, but you never know as a black person in an all white small town, you know what I'm saying? So I'm sitting there, bro. I'm like, yo, dude, please don't let nobody come out here. I was tripping, bro. I swear to God, dude. I was tripping.
I would have been as well.
And
I'm
then,
not gonna lie.
dog, hey man, like this, bro. I stood up, and I'm looking around, and in the distance, bro, I just see. I'm just there. I'm like, yo, it's a deer, bro.
A deer.
It's a deer, man. I later found out it's a type of goat, right? These people who I met on the mountain, they said it's a Murmeltier or something like that in German. Bro,
Right.
but it's like kind of far away, and I filmed it, so I'll share it with you guys maybe on the story or something when the podcast comes out. But like,
Was that
I
making the
see
noise?
this goat in the distance, and I'm like, I grab my phone, I'm like, yo, what's going on? I'm filming this goat, and like, I'm looking at it, and it's kind of like looking at me. We're like, it's quite far, man. Like maybe like 30 meters, and we're looking at each other, and then I just hear like. I was like, yo, I did not know goats could whistle, man.
That's so weird, dude.
Bro, it sounded like a human whistle, man. A real goat,
He was
dude.
trying to get your attention.
Yeah. So I go back up, continue climbing the mountain, and then I meet these people and I tell them, I'm like, yo, why was a deer whistling at me, bro? They're like, yeah, it's called a murmur deer. I was like, all right, all right, cool, thanks for the info. And yeah, like what's it called? Yeah, I was scared, and then I was very happy, and like it was a very dope. It was still a very dope like moment with nature, cause I'm just out here on this mountain all by myself. I ain't seen a soul in over an hour. I'm in the clouds, and then me and this deer are just locking eyes, and then it just whistled at me, bro.
Mm.
You know.
If it
So
was
apparently, what
foggy,
happens is he's like the leader of like his squad, his pack, and he stays like the highest like elevation of the others, and he's the lookout, bro. So
Oh,
when they see something that could endanger them, it will like whistle at them, bro. It will whistle at the other ones to let them know, like,
oh shit.
watch out.
You were posing a threat.
I was posing a threat, especially I was with a dog. So yeah. Anyways, that's what I
Yeah, the
just really
video
wanted
is
to tell you
hilarious.
guys that story, like, because it was kind of mad, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm glad you got it on tape. We should definitely show that because I laughed. I watched it like 10 times. And I laughed so hard, especially knowing the context that you thought it was a person and you started speaking to it. You start going, "Hey, I can't whistle."
Now I gotta see this video.
It's hilarious, man. Hey, Lewis, when you go back to Tanzania, are you hoping to have, or are you going to, or planning to have any type of, I don't know, trip or something that you go and do on your own? Or because I think you mentioned going to Zanzibar, right? Do you have like a sort of an urge or an itch to go and do your own thing and travel around, or like how do you see that playing out in Tanzania? What are your plans? What are your wishes for being out there again after
We
all these
just
years,
spoke
man?
about this plans thing, Jimmy.
The
We
what?
just spoke about this plans thing, sir, at length. Asking
Plans?
people, what's your plan? Nee.
Yeah,
No,
I'm not
no,
sure.
I'm
I'm
not.
not
I'm
sure.
not.
I'm not sure. I don't
I'm
know.
just messing with you, bro.
Oh, I thought you were like, yo, we covered the topic. I was like, damn, what? No, I'm not. I'm not. It's not
I know,
I mean, I can
No,
ask
I
the
get.
question,
Yeah,
but
yeah, yeah.
I'm asking.
Shit, I don't know. To be honest, I've not really thought about traveling by myself in Dar when I get back. But low key, now that you mention it, that could be kind of cool. Because I feel like that'd give me a different perspective. I think it's already going to be a totally different experience and perspective from when I used to live there, which I already low key kind of gives me a little anxiety. Not gonna lie, but I feel like it's gonna
Mm,
be. It is what it is, you know. Like I know I'm gonna enjoy it nonetheless.
Yeah.
But now for the most part, obviously my parents still live there in Dar and in Zanzibar, so I'm trying to hook up a little I don't know, sort of internship, volunteering position just to keep me busy. Pick up my Swahili again, just immerse myself in the culture completely. It'll be interesting to do that in Zanzibar because I feel like I haven't
Mm,
completely secured it yet, but there might be opportunity in Stone Town for me to be there. So just to be, because Zanzibar, like, Zanzibar is like different. It's still,
yeah, yeah.
it's the same, but it's like culturally very different as
Mm-hmm.
well. Um, and like, shit, I consider Zanzibar my like second home sometimes. Um, which I've
Mm,
never actually had a home there, which is kind of weird. But yeah,
yeah.
it'd be cool just to spend the time there. I'm looking forward to it quite a lot. Um, and yeah, I'm sure my parents are going to be working the whole time, really. So I mean, hopefully, I will be as well. But there there might be some time for me to do some solo traveling. Um,
You can always
yeah,
take buses around, bro.
facts. Yeah,
Mm,
because that could be cool. Like I low key want to do all the, like, it sounds bad, but I want to be a tourist. Like I want to do all the
mm,
touristy things. Not to like of course everyone's done them before, but it's been so long since I've like been on
Yeah.
safari, seen a lion, dude. Like I wanna be in that.
yeah, bro.
Um and like
And it's also just different doing it all at this, like you're at a completely different life
Yep.
stage. You're at a, you gotta, man, you finish your degree, you've got so many new ideas, so many new things that are gonna like you're gonna interact with your environment in a whole different way because you're just a different person
yep,
and you've grown so much. So like, especially going back home to a part of your life that was like in the past, and now to, like we were talking about it before,
yeah,
right? Bringing your new present self to this past almost environment, this space, and like I think you're gonna interact with it very differently, and I
exactly.
think that's gonna
Appreciate
do a
it a
lot for
lot
you,
more
bro.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like you
for real.
said as well, I think, yeah, I'll see how much I've grown as well.
Like
And
imagine when we're in high school, your parents can even tell you like, let's go on safari during spring break, and then
yeah,
you'll be
no.
like, nah, bro, I
That's
don't
the
want to.
thing. Woo, bruh. The
Rah!
amount the amount of times, yo, people in my year know. Every long weekend, bro, I'm at South Beach or I'm in Zanzibar. My parents just they book it without telling me. If there's a party or if
Yeah.
there's a function happening on the long weekend, Friday, like people say, "Yo, Lewis, are you coming?" I'm like, "Nah, nah, nah. I won't be
You
there
already
this time.
know, dude, we're
I'm
leaving.
locked in. I can't." But yeah, like there's definitely been times when um like I love all those places doing all that stuff, but I definitely think I underappreciated it when it was just
Yeah.
like there at great um access. Like you have access to it the whole like all the time and you do it frequently. But now, like you said, interact with it differently, appreciate it a lot more. Yeah, I think I'm gonna enjoy it. It's gonna be good to see, like I was saying, like, and like you said, um, you kind of see how you grow from like talking to people that you knew at this point in your life and stuff. Because
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
like every time you like speak to a relative, after a while they're like, "Oh, you've grown up so much," type of thing. But
Mm,
like,
mm,
as more
yeah.
obviously not physically grown, but like I feel like the maturity and the how you interact with people that you did at one point after a while is gonna be interesting for sure.
Different.
So,
Yeah,
I'm.
it's gonna be refreshing,
Yeah.
man, for
and
sure.
yeah, like we
I'm
touched
excited
on.
for you. Excited to hear.
Were you excited to hear what?
I'm excited to hear
I'm
about
excited
it, dude.
excited to hear the
Yeah,
story.
like we touched on. I'm definitely gonna create the origin story. I'm gonna have to show the people
Oh
Oh,
yeah, man.
dude,
what
proper origin story, dude.
where we came
You have to
from.
go to all the places, bro.
Yeah, you're gonna be able to get into DYC, dude.
No, for sure not, dude. Yeah,
You
Of
that's kind
course.
of an L actually.
No, dude, you're definitely having
nah,
someone there,
you'll
dude.
figure it out. You'll figure it out,
Yeah, I'll
bro.
figure it out.
I think we're getting to the end, bro.
All right, yeah, you guys ready
I just
to?
wanted, I wanted to shut off with something actually,
Mm,
because, um, so I'm right now. I'm rereading. I'm rereading The Alchemist. Like every time, I don't know. It's such a great book. Like I feel like it's so basic. Talk about The Alchemist is, but I feel like it's such a great book, and it's such like a fun. It's such a fun, but at the same time, like thought provoking, book to read and story. And every time, like this is the third time I'm reading it, and it's like I get these little gems every time that I just pick out. And so I caught one the other day, right? And I think this is like super relevant, especially like, especially people like us, like we have this like travel ache, bro. Like when you stay somewhere for a long time, you kind of you feel weird, man. But and like your days feel like they might be going by fast. Your days might feel like, you know, they're the same, exciting things are not happening. But when I read this quote, I was like, bro, this is so true and it's so relevant for me right now. Kind of now I'm lucky I'm in Germany, but being in Rotterdam for extended period of time and not being very happy there. But what the quote was is anyways, the book
present,
reads
future, however you like.
what?
Past, present, future, however you would like, sir. Don't worry.
Anyways, the quote reads, when each day is the same as the next, it's because people fail to recognize the good things that happen in their lives every day that the sun rises. And I was like, fam, it's a fact, bro. It's a fact. It's when you don't appreciate the little things that every day seems the same. Like, you're not going to tell me that every day is the exact same. So little things might happen differently, dude. You know, you might have noticed something special outside, like a special bird that you've never seen that's just like walking around on your balcony or something, or I don't know, little things that are just cool or, you know, impressive or different even, just for that matter, right? And to close off, that's why I think it's just important to sometimes, you know, take 1 minute, take 2 minutes to just actually think about like what's different today than yesterday, and what am I thankful for today that I maybe wasn't thankful for yesterday.
For real, yeah.
And with that, I got nothing more to say.
I love that. Take some time.
Yeah.
Meditate. Appreciate.
Most importantly, appreciate. Bro.
Exactly.
Appreciate.
Yeah, man. Grateful for those little things.
Lovely.
Man, for real. That's a beautiful quote, bro. Beautiful
Yeah,
quote.
thanks for presenting the ending. Being the sponsor of the ending of the podcast. That was great.
Yes.
Yes.
Right, so if you're hearing this and you've made it this far, thanks for tuning into this episode of Nomadic Stories. For our visual viewers, if you're watching this right now, you're watching it on YouTube. Our YouTube is We.Nomadic, but type in Nomadic Stories because we don't pop up just yet, but we will, don't worry. Also, we're going to have some podcast clips on our new Instagram page called We.Nomadic Stories, We.Nomadic Stories. We're going to put some little clips up there for you guys to see on the Insta. For our audio listeners, we appreciate you guys as well. Don't worry. We're going to be posting our podcast on SoundCloud at We.Nomadic. Also, follow us on the socials, Twitter at We_Nomadic, Insta, of course, We.Nomadic, and Discord. You need to join our Discord, fam, because we need to get that popping again. I think in the future, it'd be cool to have like some questions to answer from the Discord.
Yeah.
What do you guys think? So people can run some little questions that we can add to the Discord. So if you want to join the Discord, it's Nomadic Fam with a dot in between each letter of Nomadic. And yeah, don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, all that stuff. Turn on your post notifications, all the good stuff. Lastly, I want to leave a little thing for the viewers. We talked about traveling a lot. So just I need one item from both of you, young gentlemen. What's your essential?
Essential for travel.
Essential for travel. Just give me one. Serious or unserious, doesn't really matter.
A physical item.
It can be not tangible if you want.
An essential.
Yeah, GQ essentials. Not to put you on the spot.
Yo, we should do one.
I wish I would say my mic, but that's not true.
What, you don't want your mic?
No, it's not that I don't want, but it's just not the reality.
Okay.
It's not essential.
I don't bring it. I don't bring it everywhere I go, but I should, honestly.
Yeah, it can be a should. It can be a recommendation and advice for people.
I mean, look.
I don't know. For me,
Oh, go ahead.
Nah, go ahead. You something you about to say?
No. Go ahead.
Nah, for me, honestly, it's not advice. It's just me personally. Like when I'm traveling anywhere, bro, I need music. It creates a whole different vibe. Funny story, real quick. I think I told you guys already. When I got to Guatemala, you know what the first song is I listened to?
Swahili.
Guatemala. My Swahili.
And let me tell you, bro, it just added the vibe. I was looking out the window and I was just like, it was way more than a tune. I don't know. It just music just
So
creates
corny,
a vibe.
dude, but it's so lit.
Yeah.
But I was like, I did it for the corny vibe as well. But just even playing music from the place where you're at, and then just like, I don't know, it just adds something different. So for me, it's my headphones and my music, bro.
Bro, so I was gonna say the exact same thing, but then I feel like for me, my music and my earphones is essentials for my life, bro. If I even leave my house without my earphones, I'm not happy, dude. So like, but other than that, bro, what did I even bring, dude? My phone.
Bro, you barely, bro. You be walking around just with shorts and shirt off, no shoes, bro. You don't need much.
I don't need. I'm
That can be
to a
one
hot
too.
place. I don't take much.
You
bro.
don't need much. That's a good answer too.
Yeah, dude. Literally, when I have my phone, my wallet, my passport, and my earphones, pretty much I'm satisfied, bro. Can just wear my swim trunks every single day, dude.
That's
so
what's up.
swim trunks, essentials for your travels, guys.
All right. There you
Always
have
bring
it.
it with you.
There you have it. Swim trunks and music. Travel
Fanny
essentials.
Fanny pack essentials to hold everything, and you're good.
That's the one right there.
Safe.
That's it. You can put your earphones in there,
Slides.
put your shades, put your swimsuit.
Well, anyways, too much, but
Yeah, we can
this could be a whole other segment.
Alright.
But there we have your travel essentials.
Family.
It's been real.
What? Anyways. Deuces.
Yeah, peace
All right,
out.
yo, peace out.
Love people. Love.
Much love.